what we're going to do is talk about a customer service process. Billy, thanks for hopping on, guys. If you guys could do me a favor, if I create value for you, if this is a value creation for you guys, I need a favor. Share this video with your realtor friend. That's what I'm just going to ask you can do. And during this video, I'd like to be highly interactive, if that's okay. So I would like you guys to post comments, particularly questions below, or things that and ideas, so we can all kind of grow on this. One of the things that's really, really cool, and it took me a little bit to get this in my head, I wish I would have learned it earlier in Fearless Agent as Bob teaches it, is to create a referral factory, right? We don't want to have to get new business forever. We want to be able to get a business that pays us over and over again. Write yes in the comments if that's you, if you want to create a referral-based business. Jennifer, hey, thanks for coming on. I love seeing you on here all the time. Appreciate that. So start writing below. I'd like to see if that's you. If you want to have a referral-based business, put that below. And here's how we do it. It's all, hey, Antoine, what's going on, man? To build a referral-based business, it's all on customer service, right? If you call, for example, we use the expired script, right? For Fearless Agent expired script is you call a seller up and say, hey, it's Colton Lindsay. My records indicate your house was for sale and left the market unsold. Is that true? They say yes. It's an obvious answer. Get them saying yes. Hey, thanks Heather and Scott for participating, playing full out. So they say yes. That is what happened. And you follow up with, I specialize in helping people that have had their home for sale and when were unsuccessful because their agent did not do their job. Do you think that might be the case for you? When a seller says, yeah, that was the case, that's an indicator that they are a real seller and not a gambler. Okay, the whole idea is to because a lot of expireds are crazy, man. They expire not only because their agent sucked, but also because they really were crazy. They're not motivated. They really don't want to sell, right? You don't want to work with that person. You want to work with the motivated person. But why is it that if you took a survey of all sellers on the planet and specifically expired sellers, what was the #1 complaint that they had about their agent? What do you think it would be? Write your answers below and I'm going to come back to that. See, what the idea is, we want to be able to identify why is it that sellers don't have a great experience? Why is it that our customers don't have a great experience? And we want to take and fill that void, fill that gap, okay? Boom, Scott, I love the answer. Communication, that is the #1 answer. Expired sellers and any seller on the planet, their #1 complaint is the lack of communication. So if we know that's the case, if we know people are upset because agents don't know how to communicate, and you know, right? I get expired say to me sometimes, you know what, I don't like realtors. And you know what my response is? Neither do I. You know what I mean? They're a bunch of nitwits. I work with them all the time, right? You agree with them. But if we know the communication is the problem, we've got to set our systems up that we are communicating on a high level. But here's the trick. We got to do it with the appearance that we're communicating, right? And what I mean by that is you can't waste and spend a lot of time on this. So the third most important part of being a fearless agent are your systems, right? Skills, schedule, system, right? So you gotta create awesome systems. And on the Monday calls, Bob teaches how to do those, and if you guys take advantage of the one-on-one coaching and you call him, he literally will one-on-one walk you through it. He's done it for me, and so he'll do it for you as well. And so what I identified is the different parts of the process. To me, there's the pre-meeting process. There's before I meet with them, right? That's the part where when you set the appointment, you know, when Bob tells you to order brownies and send it, right? You don't have to order brownies, but send something else. Send a pre-list packet, a fancy brochure, right? So there's the before you meet with them, there's the kind of the stage of when you meet with them and get the contract signed, and then there's the activation process when it's, you know, kind of becoming activated to where it's active on the market before you have an offer. Then from there you go to the stage of the escrow process, and in there you have those different stages of, you know, dealing with the inspector, the lender, the escrow officer or attorney, depending on where you're at, clear up to where you give them the keys, and they close, right? And then that's the end of the transaction, but it's not the end of the process, because then you've got to follow up the process with the past client process, right? Now, if you can take all of that, and I know that's kind of a lot, and can come up with a step-by-step way to make it appear like you are beyond the world's greatest realtor, that you're always there for them and that you're consistent communicating. And I don't mean that you're answering their phone and texting them at 9 p.m., right? I don't mean that. Or grabbing their call at 11:30, right? What I mean is that you actually get in touch with them and communicate with them before that even happens. Okay, so let me give you some ideas that I do, and what I would like to invite you guys to do. It's absolutely free if you're fearless agents, or if you're not. In the description, you can close the video when we're done. There's a link. You can go put your name and email in, and I'll send you the copy of the customer process service that we use. A lot of those things you can add into yours. You can't duplicate it because your business and your market and where you're at's different, but you can take the ideas and create your own along with what you're learning in Fearless Agent. Everything I put on there stemmed from Fearless Agent, and the idea of I needed a step-by-step process to go from point A to point B, point C, clear to Z, and then beyond, to stay in touch with them so that they continue to send me referrals. And I've said this before, because you mentioned you guys want referrals, right? Yeah? You want referrals, right? Yes, if that's you below. Give me, let me ask you something. You guys like this? If I'm creating value for you, share this video, by the way, and go ahead and give me some emotions. Yeah, right there, Jennifer. I appreciate. I think that's you. I can't tell now with the picture. Give me some of those thumbs up so I know that this is helping you guys, right? So let me give you ideas of what we do for our business. And this is the exact paper you can download, put your name and email in. For example, one of the things ahead of time that we do is we go through a whole research market analysis, and we deliver a packet ahead of time explaining information. In case I missed that link, yeah, Scott, I'm not going to email it to you. You got to go put your name and email in the link. It's in the description when you're done. So one of the things we do is we deliver a nice fancy brochure packet before we go to the meeting, so they see that I'm a human, they know who I am. Okay, I don't personally do brownies, but a lot of agents do, and Bob highly recommends. So that's one thing you can do, right? So I have the checklist for just pre-meeting. We need to get our customer checklist, our phone call in the middle of this. Our action plan really isn't an action plan at all, because I don't do anything. It's just some stuff. We make sure that we've got the ERS contract in the file for us to take. Our lead-based paint disclosure, active and sold comparables, subject property, determine the value, like where I think it's going to be at based on it, and what they want for it, right? The business cards, is it completely prepped, right? All of these little things are steps that we have to take just to get on the meeting. Now, here's where the value is number one, it's going to save you time, right? Because that's part two, isn't mastering your schedule, getting great at that. Yeah, right. Yes, below if that's you, right? If you know you got to get great at your schedule. This helps you get great at your schedule. So let's pretend that you set a new appointment because you're following the Fearless Agent process, and you're on the phones in the morning from 8 to 11. You're making phone calls. You set an appointment. Now, instead of thinking, well, what do I need to do? You've got it right here. You've got it right here. You just look at what you need to do, and then you just follow it, and it becomes automated. All right? See what I'm saying? That's why part of making great systems. So the idea of a system is, let's say you go out of town for a month, right? You're in the hospital, you're sick, whatever. You want your systems, your process so awesome, so great, okay, that a 12-year-old could do it. Okay, and I'm going to give you some recommendations for books. Number one is go read the book E-Myth. Okay, E-Myth is a great book that's going to help you with this. And then the other book I'm going to recommend for you guys is Raving Fans. Both of these books are really quick, easy reads. Raving Fans, okay? And the idea of the process for your customers, and in the book Raving Fans talks about it, it sounds kind of goofy, but it's like you want to give them little hugs along the way. Sharing that, hey, listen, my goal is to take care of you and get that one buyer on planet Earth that's willing to pay more for your house than anyone else. Okay, that's my goal, and to jack that price up there. And when you have a great system of communication and those hugs, those gifts, that helps them feel that, right? So do you guys get what I'm saying? Write yes in the chat box if you're getting what I'm saying, or give me some what are those freaking things called, Garrett, when they put their thumbs up? What are the, some reactions? Give me some reactions. I always forget what that's called. So I get understand that you guys are getting what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me just kind of move forward with some of the things that we do here. For example, when we get our listing, like one of the things that we have to do is we have you know the capture on there, like tour factories, so people can call the number, get information about the house, sort of thing, and then it sends them a virtual tour. Like that's one of the things we do on every listing. So we make sure it's on our check mark that we do it over and over again, right? We got to put the sign up, get the key box on. Is there any HOA information that we need, right? One of the cool things too is like when we get a referral, our business is my sales team 70% referrals from following this and learning what I've learned, using what I've learned in Fearless Agent. And one of the things is when we receive the referral, we send a handwritten thank you card. Not my handwriting, because it would look like a 2-year-old did it, but my assistant Sarah, who has amazing calligraphy, like rock star. She writes so awesome. If you're 20 and you can't read cursive, right, you're not going to be able to read it. But if you're a real human adult, like, it's amazing handwriting, right? So we send out handwritten thank you cards, right? And that's just one little hug. And you might be thinking, we do that, right? But I'm saying we do several of these little things, right? Then, okay, fast forward, we actually go active on the property. We're sending a handwritten thank you card to the customer as well. And one of the things we do is where is it at? We email the client and the person that referred us, here's the steps that we're taking so far, right? It's a template, an email template. Everything's a template. Get this, it's even with the listing presentation, guys, I know there's been a lot of chatter in the group about this. You don't need it word for word. There are certain phrases you gotta know word for word, but what you need to know is the template, right? Most important is not the context, or I'm sorry, not the content, but the context, right? Get that? It's not the content, it's the context, it's the flow of it. It's the flow of what Bob is teaching with your language patterns, with the presentation, with your systems. Everything's about the context, okay? So we send out that. We send out, one of the things we do is we add people to Facebook, right? So we add them as a friend on Facebook so that we're friends there. We make sure that they got the MLS report to review, so we get a copy of all the listing documents to them, right? These are all things that seem like you know you got to do them, but if you got to think about doing it over and over again, you're done it wrong. You got to do it to where you don't have to think about it. Got it? So how many of you following right now that are seeing this, whether it's live or recorded or on my podcast, think about this, answer the question if you're on podcast, if you're live, write it in the comments. Yes, I will follow a system. I want you to write that. Yes, I will follow a system. Okay? That's one of the commitments I want you guys to make, because see, if you're in the coaching program and you're not doing this, then you're missing the boat. Like this is where the money is made. This is where you will build your fortune over time. Got it? Cool. So one of the things that we do is when we go under contract, right? I said we write the handwritten thank you card up front. One of the things that we do is really, really cool is we send a handwritten congratulation card with a $10 gift card, right? I buy them in bulk, so I buy them for 70 cents on the dollar. And we send a handwritten thank you card with a gift card to say, hey, congratulations, we're under contract, go get some ice cream, right? One of the things that Bob teaches in his system is every year, celebrating their transaction, send them movie tickets, right? Just say, hey, congratulations, it's been a year, here's 2 movie tickets, you can do it on a gift card now, go celebrate, right? And I'm just giving some of the little items. You know, one of the things that we do at the end too is we send an email out automatically, ask him to give us an awesome review on Facebook, Google, and Zillow. So yeah, these are a lot of the little things, and as we're doing these items, we're updating them. So here's really important. Once I sign a listing contract or a buyer contract, okay, I do talk to my buyers a little bit, but not that much. But with sellers, once I sign that contract, I personally don't talk with them anymore. But I have a team for that, right? I have a staff for that. If you're by yourself, you have a team too. You wear all those hats, right? You are your assistant, sort of thing. So every Friday, though, if you have an assistant, have your assistant do this. If you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant, do this, right? Every Friday, we send out an email update of what action items we've done and an update on where we're at, right? It just kills the whole nerve that we're not communicating, right? And then Monday morning, guess what happens is we follow up, and I recommend if you're by yourself and you don't have an assistant, you don't have a transaction coordinator, don't do it on Monday, do it on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, right? Because Mondays are really busy days, always. But what we do is my assistant then follows up on a Monday just to say, hey, sorry, I got a text message, just to say, hey, did you get the email on Friday? Okay, did you have any questions of where we're at? And they typically don't. And oh, by the way, who else? Here's where prospecting comes in, okay, to your active clients. By the way, who else do you know thinking of buying or selling a house soon that would like awesome customer service like this? Who do you know that we should have on our radar to get in touch with? Okay. One of the things that I do is at the first of the meeting, when we sign an agreement, is I say, hey, my goal, when we're finished, by the time we close your transactions, my goal is to have created such world-class customer service for you that by the time we're done, you will have given us at least one referral. Okay? And I'm so on top of this with me and my team that I'm going to be asking for this referral every step of the way, because that demonstrates and holds us accountable if we're doing what we said we were going to do or not. Which really what we said we were going to do is just the process that has to happen to have a successful closing. It's not like we don't need to post on 79 different websites, right? Like that's for me. That's for me to get leads. That's not for this to sell the house, okay? I don't want to pass that message to them, so I don't even tell them that, right? But we do that, and we need to do this, and you need to have this to follow, right? But what you do need to do is when you're doing items, you need to update them so that they don't feel like you've just left them out. You know, you put a sign in the yard and then you disappeared, right? You entered the witness protection program or something, which a lot of agents do, right? So by the end of this time, we've asked them, you know, you think about the average customer is going to be a 30 to 90 day process, more than likely, maybe 45 to 90 days. By the time you sign the agreement to close and you get the property on the market, you get it under contract, you go through escrow and you close, you're probably 90 days of working with them. So every week for 90 days, what's that, 12 weeks? That's 12 times that you are proactively asking your active customers for referrals. Is that cool or what? Give me some thumbs up right there, some reactions, if that's cool or what. 12 times during the transaction, just vocally, you're asking for referrals. Not to mention every time you send an email and when you send handwritten thank you cards, our template, even when we send a handwritten thank you card, every one, from the initial one, even our final one, it says the same on every thank you card. It's a template. It's a script that we use every time. We don't make it up every time. We use the same one every time, okay? So by the end of it, you know, we're celebrating, and we even do this little tiny thing. After we close the transaction, I have one of my staff members call the customer and do a customer service survey, right? And so we can find out how can we improve our service, okay? And then the day after that, me as the agent calls, and I'm celebrating with the client. Get that? This is a big deal. When a person successfully completes a transaction, buying or selling, it's a big deal. It's one of their largest investments ever. So celebrate that with them. Congratulations. I'm excited for you, right? By the way, would you recommend me to anyone else? You would? Is there anyone over the next 12 months I should have on my radar, sort of thing, right? And then from there, you move it into the referral factory process that Bob teaches as well. And that's a whole other conversation, but I wanted to get this really, really, really clear that you've got to take the time, and you can do it during your Smart Week, because you should be doing your Smart Weeks, right? You got to take the time to put these systems into place. And I know it's kind of it sucks to do it, because if you're like me, I'm a high I, a high D. I'm really outgoing, and I just want to keep going and doing, but I'm not great with the paperwork, right? I'm great with the people, but not the paperwork. If that's you, say yes, and so I know that's you as well. But you've got to slow down. You've got to put this system together. Once you get it together, you've got the machine built, and all you have to do is refine it, okay? One last thing before I go. By the way, if you guys have questions, start writing them in the comment box now, okay? Hey, Scott, thanks for checking out and watching the video. Write any questions in the comments now because I'm going to be signing off in just a few minutes. But the very, very, very last thing that I want to make sure that you guys are doing with this is at the very, very end, okay? When this is all buttoned up, right? You've done all this. You got to be able to duplicate it over and over again. So it's really important you document it, right? You've got to put it on paper, save it in your Dropbox file. We literally, when we go to an appointment, we don't use iPads, by the way. That's for losers. Losers use iPads at appointments. We use literally a pen and a paper and a folder, right? And I know what people are saying. Hey, get into it the times, use an iPad. No, that's features and benefits. You're selling features and benefits when you do that. You're selling freaking shoes at that point. When you're getting paid $15,000 to sell something, do it like a real salesperson does. And do it with questions and writing it down and using a formula. Don't do it with a freaking presentation on your iPad. That's silly, okay? And so what's important is you document the process. So how we document is one on paper. We have a paper one so that it's in the file, the folder, when I go meet with a client. And we're checking things off as we go. Once it goes from there, the next tool we use, it's asana.com. It's absolutely free. Asana.com, it's free. We take the same exact process and we build a template inside of Asana, okay? So that we can assign dates, it pops up on calendars. Go check Asana out. It takes a little bit to learn, but it's an amazing free tool that you can build your customer process in. I hope this helps. I didn't see anyone have questions yet. I'm glad to hear you guys are going to follow the process. I appreciate everyone participating today. Once again, if this is for you, share, okay? Share, okay? And what I'm going to invite you to do is in the description link, you can click on a link and put your name and email in, and I will send you a copy of this paper right here. Okay, you can have this. That's how committed I am to helping the Fearless Agent community. I'm giving the one I built. Now, you're not going to be able to follow it verbatim, simply because, number one, is you're not going to understand all of the language on here. It's not going to happen. But my point of having a copy of this in your hands is so that you can go through and create one for yourself and what you're learning on the Monday coaching calls. Got it? Cool. Awesome. And if you are not a Fearless Agent yet, my only question would be, what the hell's going on? Go sign up, man. Like, would you rather start getting rich today or yesterday? Am I right or am I right? What are you waiting around for? So to go check that out and sign up is fearlessagent.com. We appreciate you guys. Hey, thanks. I'm in my unfinished basement, about to get me some, I got this app. I don't know if you guys have used it. It's like, it's called Tabata or something. But anyways, I do some jump ropes by using the Tabata timer. I do it every night, so